Welcome to the Sage Advice Podcast, transforming the way people think and work so their organizations can thrive. Well, hi, everyone, and welcome to our podcast. My name is Ed Kless, and with me today is David Beard and Jeff Richards. David is the CRM principal for Sage CRM, and Jeff is the head of training program development. Welcome to the Sage Advice Podcast, guys.
Hello, Ed. Thank you very much for having us.
Hi, Ed. Thank you.
Happy to have you. First off, let's tell me a bit about yourselves. David, you go first.
Okay. In fact, let's just mix this up just to mess with you here, Ed. I'll tell everyone what I think Jeff does, and Jeff, you can tell everyone what you think I do.
I love it. Go for it.
All right. Jeff, he calls himself, as you said, the head of training program development. You know, for many folks, customers and partners alike, Jeff is the technical face of Sage CRM. For many years, way before being online was a thing, Jeff was out there blogging, managing forums, and just being all over Sage, which is fantastic. He's a great communicator, a real evangelist for implementers and developers and more. He also works real closely with our R&D team, and he's my right hand, really, for technical knowledge and some forward guidance. It's quite a fun story, actually. He and I joined this little Irish startup company in the early 2000s, which has become Sage CRM. So we've known each other a long time, and a bit like yin and yang, our seemingly contrary personalities are actually very useful together, and we achieve much more. Jeff, what do you say about me?
Well, I'm just trying to digest what you said about me. So anyway, who's this bloke that I work with? David calls himself the Sage CRM principal, which covers a whole raft of things, many of which I'm very glad that he looks after rather than me. I would, in a phrase, say that David works in a business development capacity. He works with our colleagues in sales, in marketing, and with the partner management teams. And he does a lot of work to globally influence the positioning, the benefits and messaging around Sage CRM. And he's also picked up in these recent years an interesting task. It's from a commercial perspective of setting the strategic product management. And that's really what we're doing with Sage in terms of selling Sage CRM, what we're doing with selling, how we're selling it, why we're selling it, where we're putting it into the market, and how do we make that fit better into the market as well. And like me, David is a sort of evangelist. But this time, rather than technology, he's conveying the business value of Sage CRM. He articulates the Sage CRM proposition through the various activities that he does. And like us, you know, the blessed COVID means that we're doing everything online these days.
And let's talk a little bit about that. I mean, like this podcast, in a way, Sage CRM is the best kept secret at Sage. And David, why don't you address that? What's some of the latest news for Sage CRM?
So in terms of futures, well, we're looking with our twice yearly release cycles. We've got a roadmap right out to about 2023, 24 now, and we're all about this highly featured, keenly priced CRM offer to the market. We're encouraging customers to have conversations with their partners to help them make CRM work for their business, you know, how they can improve data capture, data management, process automation, compliance, things like that. And Sage CRM provides opportunities for customers to do those things, but also partners who should see Sage CRM as a really attractive option for fast deployment of a product, some great services revenue, and of course, making the lifetime value of the underpinning installation longer and more effective. Jeff, what do you think?
If I think about the future of CRM from a technology perspective, we have a set of ambitions about what we want to do with Sage CRM. We want Sage CRM to be able to be deployed in any way that our customer needs. We're very firmly part and online. We're on board with the strategy of the base Sage Business Cloud. We're working to make sure that beyond the powerful core features that we have that you'd expect actually from a modern CRM system, we've also got APIs that are open, that are standards based, they're free to developers and ISVs. And we want those APIs that we provide to be used to integrate Sage CRM beyond the Sage Business Cloud and to become part of an ever-expanding ecosystem of add-ons and useful things for businesses. And in the immediate future, you can expect us to be addressing with a real focus on API expansion, improvements to the interface and feature expansion as well. Improvements in the cloud deployment options that we're working on, improved security features, and a continual attack on the petty annoyances so that might be in the product, so that the user experience is lifted up.
And the reason why we're doing this podcast is we have a series of podcasts that you guys have put together. It's going to be released on Mondays every 2 weeks, beginning next Monday. And David, what can we look forward to in these podcasts, and why should our partners give it a listen?
Well, we're aiming, Ed, for a real wide range of contributions from all over the world. We sell this product around the globe, as you know. So we have a number of resellers, a number of ISVs talking about their experiences of Sage CRM, both for them and, of course, for their customers. So we're kicking off, by way of example, with an add-on provider from Boston called TimeLinks, which is a time and project management add-on for Sage CRM. And we're talking with their CEO, Mark Engelberg, about his own challenges in a previous business, which actually led him to develop the product, and then talking about how it's used around the world with customer-focused stories in the 50, 100, 300, and X3 space. We've also got a reseller, Blytheco. Most people will be familiar with Blytheco, large reseller in the US, talking with their CRM practice leader about the value of integrating CRM with back office accounting, and talking about examples of processes and data flow improvements that he's managed to do with his customers.
I don't think we should ignore our home market. We've also rescheduled. We scheduled some time with our UK reseller, one of our UK resellers, Cumulus Solutions. We've spoken with their principal, Danny Lewis. He's going to tell us all about the technical trends and a conversation about the skills gap, and that's an important subject between, the skills gap that are required to be filled for resellers and customers in making CRM successful. And we're also going to hop over the Irish Sea to the spiritual home of Sage CRM, actually physical home where the developers sit, and speak to a developer of an independent developer of a very popular Outlook and mobile add-on. So this is a company called CRM Together, and the owner, Mark Reedy, will talk about how he started, talk about the importance of user adoption and how their products help embed CRM throughout an organization for their customers and users.
Outstanding. Well, we hope to give our partners who are listening to this a flavor for this. But as you gentlemen both know, there is an exit question that I ask all of our guests. And David, I'm going to go to you first. Who is a hero of yours, and why are they a hero?
Oh, now there's a question I hadn't prepared for, Ed.
I'm going to talk about a local hero. We've businesses have essentially started to slide to a halt in many places because of COVID-19. You've got maybe a third of all staff in some organizations, and maybe more, who are completely laid off or furloughed during this period. And through the work that we've been doing with Sage Foundation, I've been engaged in some of the foundation work, working with local charities, and there's a woman who's just coming to the end of her job. She's retiring in where I live, and she's very, very active in coordinating the work of different charities. And I would call Alison Navarro, who's the chief executive of a body called Community Action Sutton being my hometown, as one of my local heroes. She has managed to get charities working with each other, amplifying their local effect, and people who can make various different community groups work together to raise everyone's standard of living and everyone's chances is great. And she has been fantastic during the COVID-19 crisis as well.
All right, David, I'm not letting you off the hook. Back to you.
See, well, do you know what? I'll go with the recency principle. I was reading this morning about a number of people who have, because of the current situation, had to rethink their jobs because they've lost them. And the piece was all about people striking out on their own and thinking, well, now's the time to do that thing I always thought I wanted to try. I've been forced, but I shall make the most of it. So to those people who do that, and there have been tens of thousands of them around the world right now, you are my heroes. Good luck.
All right. And lastly, guys, how can somebody contact each of you? David, how can we get a hold of you?
So you'll both find myself and Jeff actually both available through the community, Sage CRM community, which is community.sagecrm.com. And of course, at your usual LinkedIn places, etc.
Through LinkedIn, yeah, and you'll also find us on Sage City as well. So always go and look at Sage City. I am CRM, the user called Sage CRM. So you'll find me easily enough within the forums. And if you don't know where it is, you'll go into the global solutions and you'll find Sage CRM listed there along with X3 and the other global products.
Outstanding. All right, David Beard, CRM Principal, and Jeff Richards, Head of Head Training Program Development. Thanks so much for being guests on the Sage Advice Podcast.
Thank you, Ed. It's been a pleasure.
Bye now.
For more Sage Advice, visit and subscribe at sageadvicepodcast.com.